Hello everyone, Mark from Overlook Valley Homestead. This is going to be part 2 in our series, So You Want to Own Cows. So we're going to go over a few more things that I think you might want to know if you're thinking about buying cattle. Let me grab my notes. Let's see. Alright, today we're going to go over acreage that you're going to need for your cattle. That is something that you got to think about before you just go off and start buying cows. I believe the USDA, if I'm not mistaken, recommends 1.5 to 2 acres per cow. I myself personally, in my opinion, feel that 1 acre per cow is plenty. I think actually on the USDA website it says 1.5 to 2 acres per cow and cat pair, so that's really 2 cows if you look at it that way. And you may not have to have exactly 1 acre per cow. You know, maybe 3/4 of an acre per cow, but it's just you have to watch your growth in your fields and make sure that there's plenty of foliage for the animal. You don't want your cows going around starving. That is the worst thing, is not being able to feed your cows. Depending on the type of cow, some cows need more foliage than grain, and some cows need more grain than foliage. If you're interested in like a longhorn cow, they do really good on just grazing. You don't really have to give them any grain. You can, but you don't have to. They're raised out west, and that's what that's the life that they know. Most of them, and they're just free range a whole lot out there. But if you have dairy cattle, they require more feed, grain, than foliage or hay. And your beef cows, they also require more hay. They require more hay than grain. So those are things that you're going to have to look into. Is how much land you got, and then later on we'll get into it. What it's going to take to feed them and stuff. But you definitely want to be able to, if you can, do a rotational grazing. So which means you would be better off with 2 different pastures to be able to put your cows in one pasture for an amount of time and then move them to the other pasture for an amount of time, which gives the foliage, the grass, time to grow and get up and, thick and luscious like cows like it. And so that's something that you want to think about. Of course, you get into fencing and many other things with that, and we'll get into that in another video. But first off, you want to make sure that you got land. You want to make sure that you either own land or have it rented or whatever, where you can use the land to put your cows on. You don't want your cows standing in mud all the time. Now, if you have a barn, like I do, we're here in the barn now. Around the back of the barn, feed lots where they come in to eat grain, they're going to get muddy. There's nothing you can do about that unless you move your feed troughs every day to a new location. And that's just, they stomp and move around next to the feed, and it just tears the ground all to pieces, and it gets a little muddy. Now, you don't want it to get so bad that your cows are standing in a foot of water to eat their feed. If it gets that bad, you need to move your troughs and give that time to dry up. They can cause lots of problems in your cows, and you don't want to go there. So you definitely want to make sure that you have enough room for your cattle. So in the next few videos, we're going to be going over several more things. I hope you'll come back and join them. I'm trying to make these videos short so that it doesn't take up a lot of your time, and I appreciate you watching them. I've had several people contact me and ask me about cattle, and asked me if I would make these videos. So that's why I'm doing them. I probably should have said that in the first video, but I didn't. But you know, if I have knowledge, I'm willing to share it if you're willing to listen to it, and take from it what you want, and don't take what you don't like. I mean, that's just how it is. That's how you have to do when you're a cattle farmer. You learn from everybody you can, and you make your own adjustments and opinions on the things that you do, and you find out what works for you and what don't work for you. What works for me may not work for you. And I've had that learning process and continue to have that learning process, even though I've been doing cows since I was 10, 11 years old. Well, maybe even before that, my dad had cows. So, it's a learning process, and every cow's not the same. So, you just have to try to figure out what to do to keep your cattle healthy. So, thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I'm going to go through and try to do several of these videos today, and we'll put them out however Sarah feels fit to put them out. But I'll do as many of them as I can stand to do out here today. So while I got it on my mind. So thank you for coming to Overlook Valley Homestead, and God bless you.